Okay, okay. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. So I don't know if you can see me, but I'm trying to do a live show here on YouTube. I've never done it. I'm using this new. I mean, it's new. It's in a beta version, the YouTube Live. Okay, it's there is a lag. Let me see here if I can turn that sound off. Maybe. Do you see? Can you hear? You see me? Okay. Can you hear me now? Because I turned on something off. Can you hear me now? Bonjour, GVB. Bonjour. Can you hear me? So far, so good. Okay. So, yeah, it seems to be working. It seems to be working. A lot of people seems to be connecting. That's cool. Yeah, it's all okay. It's only the left channel. Ah, interesting. I have no idea how to fix that. I have no idea how to fix that. I will do more tutorials. Sorry about if there is any audio or video issue. It's my first time here. So the idea is I want to talk to you about what I'm doing and answer some of your questions. If you have any questions regarding retouching, Lightroom, Photoshop, making money with photography, uh, places you want to go to, or if you go to Paris, I have questions about Paris, shoot me some questions. First, so bonjour. A lot of people are connecting. Yeah, it's funny. I want to say hello. Bonjour. I'm going to say hello to a few people. So, bonjour, Kathleen Martin. I'm looking here. I know the camera is there, but I'm looking here to say hello. So, bonjour, Omer. Bonjour, Barnsley Boy. Bonjour, Photoshop Pro. A lot of people are connecting. This seems to be working pretty fine. Pretty fine. So, first thing is, I'm working on a few things. First, I'm working to try to put in a schedule so that I can do free stuff every Wednesday morning. So every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock Los Angeles time, I'm going to do a tutorial on Lightroom photography, plugins, whatever comes my way. That's going to be free, and it's going to be every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Pacific time, so which is 12 o'clock East Coast time, and it's going to be 6 o'clock Europe time. And then on Friday, I'm going to do this live show. I'm either going to use YouTube technology or Facebook Live. I've done Facebook a few times. Now I'm trying YouTube for the first time and see how that goes. I don't like so much that I haven't figured out a way to get my Sony to work as a webcam, so I have to do it with the webcam, which I don't really like. It's not very nice, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. And so, bonjour, bonjour. How do we start to make money with photos from extreme nitro? It's a long question. You have to. The way I started, okay, let's talk about that. The first money I ever got with photography, ever, was about 10 years ago, which was Photolia, which is not Adobe stock. And a lot of people ask me questions like, do you think stock is good? Well, I'll give you my exact figure. I uploaded about 100 photos, and I was making roughly $100 a month. So I have the feeling that if you want to make money with stock photography, it's about $1 for a photo, and you have to get them approved. But I know some people that have like 20 or 30,000 on stock photography, and they make $20,000 to $30,000 per month. I guess it's a good estimation of effort. So if you want to make money with stock photography, you got to think of 1,000 photos, 2,000 photos on out there. Yeah, so now I still have a few photos on Adobe stock that work. That was the first money that I made. The second money that I made with photography was real estate photography. I started calling hotels and showed them my photos. They were very impressed because I was the only one doing HDR at the time in hotels, and so I got a lot of jobs because I was doing HDRs. So that's how I got started. It takes a lot of you have to be a salesman. You don't count on somebody else to be a salesman for you. And But you know what? People either need photo or they don't. If they need photo and you have a good portfolio, they will hire you. The thing is, you have to take that phone and you have to go and call. So that's how I started making photos, my photography. Talking about HDR, I'm updating my HDR masterclass, which should be coming out next week. I've been working on it for months. I wanted to get new, fresh photos for it. And so I have a whole bunch of photos from all over the world: Paris, New York, New Zealand, and never published before photo. And I'm doing the whole thing with Aurora HDR for the Mac users and HDR FX Pro for the Windows users. That's going to be coming out next week. Also, I'm really happy because I'm going to be touring in December. I'm going to go. I'm going to do a whole tour. I'm going to go from Los Angeles to Death Valley, and then from Death Valley, I'm going to spend a couple of days in the valleys. I'm going to go to Zion National Park, and then Bryce Canyon, and then I'm going to go to Page, Arizona. Every time I'm going to spend 2-3 days there, and then I'm going to do the Grand Canyon, West Entry again, and then back to Los Angeles. So it's going to be from the 3rd or 4th December to the 15th of December. So if you live anywhere, Bryce Canyon, Grand Canyon, just send me a personal message on my Facebook, and I'll see. Maybe we can do some photos together. Maybe you can show me around. That'd be really cool. Let me see here. Thank you. A lot of thank you. So thank you anyway. So let me see. Bonjour d'Aix-en-Provence. Mirrorless camera or mirror ones? Oh, somebody's asking mirrorless camera or mirror ones. If you follow my channel, you know I fell in love for the Sony A7 series about 2 years ago, and I never looked back since. It's light. Sony sensor have amazing dynamic range. Their lens is pretty sharp, and I can hike and take great photos. I don't think I will go back to mirror again. And Sony just came out. I was in New York, and they came out with this new RX something. Matt Kloskowski was using it, and I tried it. It's like the quality is amazing. I mean, Sony sensors are really amazing in terms of dynamic range, meaning you shoot right in the sun and you want to get that sun and all the details around. Sony is, I think, the best for that right now, from what I can see, doing photo walks with other Nikon and Canon shooters. But I love Canon and Nikon. It's just a bit heavy. You're doing photography and sport at the same time. All right. Thank you. Pas live sur Facebook. No, not live on Facebook. Live on YouTube. I'm trying this. Yeah, I know. I know I'm not lip sync, and that's one issue I haven't figured out why I'm not. And I'm using the software called what is it called already? OBS, and there is a lag, and I haven't figured it on. I don't have it on Facebook, but I'm going to do mutuals. I'm sorry if the quality is not very cool. Let's see. Ask me questions, and I will try to do my best. Do I want to go to Montreal? Yes, I'm actually going to go to Montreal as a speaker in August. Also, if you guys are around Los Angeles area, I'm doing in Laguna Beach. I have a gallery that sells my work there. It's not exactly in Laguna Beach. It's Long Beach. It's in the big mall that's in Long Beach at Round B Mall in the south of California. And I'm going to be there on the 3rd of December, I believe, doing, book signing. And so if you want to meet, hang around with me. I'll post it on my Facebook channel if you want to say hi. I will be there to be with you. Blah, blah, blah. Some people is asking for the Aline Lorenzo from Spain. Hello, Aline Lorenzo. She wants to know how to do the desaturated look from Mikitus photo on Instagram. Actually, I'm working on a tutorial like this that should be coming out in a week or two, where I'm trying a lot of this famous Instagram look, sort of like desaturated look on portraits. I don't do a lot of life portrait, but I asked my nephew, Stephen Retty, to give me some, and he gave me some. I'm trying a few things, so I'm working on a tutorial like this that should be coming out pretty soon. Some video thing, or some could be internet issue. Anyway, all right. Serge, what can you advise to international photographers like from India, how we can collaborate with you? How you can collaborate with me? Well, send me a personal message on Facebook and we can talk. I'm always happy for collaboration. Okay, sir, please tell the difference between full and crop sensor photo quality. Crop sensor usually are cheaper sensors, per my experience, and they have a bit of less dynamic range, and also they have a little less of depth of field. That's the main reason when you do portraits. But Honestly, sensors are getting better and better. I only use full frame sensors. Uh, the reason for this is bigger the sensor, less the noise in low light because you get bigger, data. And I shoot low light all the time. So that's why I would say that's why I would use a full frame sensor personally. I'm trying to get the best low light situation. I like to shoot by hand as much as possible, not without a tripod. So that's why I use full frame sensor. But today's sensors are so amazing. I think today the key is really the vision. I think the issue today is more composition and post processing than sensors, because any camera is good today. Uh, we need every week to camera touching. Uh, I will not answer political questions. Uh, all right. Yeah, a lot of people are connecting. Well, this is pretty cool. I'm impressed by all the questions. Yes, you can ask question in French. Somebody's asking if I can. I probably will answer them in English because most of my audience is English. I'm sorry for the French people. Je suis désolé, but 80% of the people speaks English. So if I start speaking French, I will annoy 80 people. If I speak English, I only annoy 5 to 10%. It's all about percentage of annoying. Yes, the Blue Moon is coming up this Sunday. I'm planning on shooting it. Apparently, it's going to be one of the best moon. I'm going to go with Emmerich, who is a French photographer also living in Los Angeles. We're going to go hunt the blood moon this Sunday. I would advise you to have the longest lens you can have. Like 70 to 200, or if you got a 300 or 400 to really shoot. I'm maybe going to rent a lens for that one day because I really want to get that shot of the moon with all the details. I'm hoping to get that. And apart from that, shoot on a tripod. Be at f4. You don't need to be at f11 when you shoot something that's so far away. And bracket the shot. Make sure you look at your shot. Make sure they're very sharp, and just take photos until you really got a sharp shot. And then I'll probably will do a tutorial on how to shoot the blue moon. But it's this Sunday. You guys got to go out. I hope you have a clear sky in your area. All right. I'm going rental now. That's good. Yeah. Apparently it's going to be exceptional, that moon. Let me see here. Bonsoir. Hello, Steve Wade Johns. Hello, Jerome Curvalon. Hello, Claudia Costa. Somebody asked me, is the 55-200mm VR from Nikon good enough to crisp picture of the moon? How good is the Registra 6 for editing the picture of the moon? I have no idea. I'm not a Nikon shooter. But I believe, the key point is to I would use the manual focus to really zoom in and make sure the moon is super sharp. That's because if you use the autofocus, you might be surprised on very night photography. Yeah, it's a very large moon. Absolutely. Oh, Andrew Kavanagh is coming. Bonjour, Andrew. Somebody says he wants to come to Arizona with me. Yeah, I'll be all over Arizona in December, showing all the parks: Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Grand Canyon, Page, Arizona, Antelope. I'm going to do the Wave again in Page, Arizona. I'm going to do the Lake Powell, the Horseshoe, everything. I love this area, and I wanted to go in the winter so it's not too hot. I'm hoping maybe to get some snow. That'd be crazy. Somebody from Ecosia said, I just got a 10-stop ND. I've tried some shots in midday sun with low ISO and f-stop, but it's not slow enough. Is it better when there is less light? Yeah, if you want to do ND filters like an f10, don't do it when the sun is too big. Go for an overcast day, but then you can do amazing photo in the night. In the afternoon, but it has to be overcast. If the sun is there, it's going to be hard to get. The best ND 10 photos I got in the afternoon was always an overcast where the sun was not like there. Bonjour Xavier Chantraine. Merci. Hello David Mora Stevanik from it's going too fast. Oh, Michel Jourdan, my friend from Canada. Bonjour. Somebody's asking me about, Michel is asking me about Capture One versus Lightroom. I tried Capture One versus Lightroom, and honestly, I didn't see a big difference. I'm so used to Lightroom. You have to understand that my channel is #1 in the world on Lightroom, so it's hard for me to shift software. But I did give it a try, and I was not impressed. Now, I spent a few hours on it, and I spoke to another very famous photographer, which I am not going to mention her name, who tried it a lot more. It was like, and he's not supposed to say that, and I'm not gonna say whose gun it is, but he was like, "Yeah, I don't use it. I use Lightroom." So I people telling me like the colors are different. I have not observed that, but I might be stupid and I'm not looked enough at Capture One. But for now, I'm sticking to Lightroom. Okay, as a beginner photographer, what equipment do you see is a must-have? Well, I started with the Canon EOS 350, which is the T2i today. I would say at least have, if you're like a Sony, they have this new like 8600 or 5000, A6 5000. Look at the entry-level camera. All the sensors today are amazing. So any $300-400 camera, just make sure you can change the lens. That's the only thing. So pick Sony, Canon, or Nikon, and make sure you can change the lens, and you're good to get started with photography. You can take amazing photos with that, even low light. Make sure you have a tripod. Tripod is a must because the nicest photo is going to be in low light usually, and you need a tripod for that. So that's what I think you need at least $500 to get started. To get like an entry DSLR camera and a tripod, and then you can get started. You can use a 1640, 1650 lens that's on most entry DSLR, and I did 2 years of photography with that before I bought another camera. Okay, hi Serge, what do you think about using middle format in landscape photography? I mean, some gear like Hasselblad, Pentax, and so on. I think it's amazing. I would love to do it, but the reason I'm not doing it is because it's so expensive, and also I'm doing a channel where I teach people, and if I start using middle format camera on my channel, I'm going to lose my audience, to be honest, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to buy any camera that's above $2,000-3,000. I still want to work with the gear that most people use. But I'm sure it's amazing. Trey Ratcliffe has the Hasselblad, I think, and he was showing me some of the resolution he's getting. It's really cool. I think I would do it, but I wouldn't do tutorials on it. I would do it for landscape work. But I'm so happy with the Sony A7R II that I'm really curious to compare it with the Hasselblad, and I haven't done it yet. I might do it so. Somebody asked Photoshop for photographer versus Photoshop 101 for beginners. Photoshop for photographer is really for like landscape photographer. Photoshop 101 is more, it's courses I sell on my website. Somebody's asking which one is the best. One is going to be more toward really retouching your photos, and one's going to be more toward like retouching photos but with a bit of a design aspect to it. But Calvin, who did this course, is my partner. He's an amazing designer. He's really one of the best designers I've ever worked with. And so he has a bit that angle where I have more like a photographic angle. I mean, both of course are really valid. It depends if you're more interested to really learn Photoshop like as a designer or learn Photoshop for photography. In case if it's for photography, go for Photoshop for photographer. Also, guys, I want to say I'm going to be in, for the first time in my life, I'm going to do a workshop in in Venice and Rome in March. You can get all the dates on my website, photoshows.com. And I'm doing also my Paris in spring. It's going to be a full week in Italy, and then a full week in Paris in a beautiful 4-star hotel. All the restaurants, in even beautiful restaurants. It's like a 4-star thing. It's not a cheap thing. It's a very high-end thing. It's not cheap, but it's amazing. And we have Mimo, who is one of the best long exposure photographer, a very long exposure photographer, who's going to be our guide in Venice and Rome. And then in Paris, it will be me and Calvin who will do the workshop in Paris. So if you want to shoot for a full week with me in Venice or Rome or Paris, go to my website, photosearch.com, and check it out. Also, I'm doing this academy online. I've got 5 people that graduated lately, so because I'm only taking 20 people at a time. So I've got 5 more spots open if you want. You get all the info on photosearch.com. Basically what it is I'm going to give you like 40 challenges of photography, and then you're going to have to pass them all. It takes about 2-3 months to do it, and I try to make it as feasible but still hard. And the idea is to improve your photography, so I'm going to give you feedback. Some people had to submit 18 photos to win one challenge, so it's not super easy. I'm not going to lie to you, but you can learn a lot. So check it out. Also, my academy is open for 5 more students because I only take 20 at a time. Okay, so let's see some other questions here. What else do we have? Any travel to Switzerland plan? I'm sorry, I just came back from Switzerland. I loved it. I did a couple of tutorials on it. I really loved it, but I'm not planning to go back. Yeah, astrophotography is amazing. Hello, Andreas from Germany. What do you think about the iPhone 7 Plus camera? I haven't tried it. I want to get one, and it's out of stock. So I can't wait to get my hands on the iPhone 7 Plus to try the camera, especially the new feature to make a nice bokeh. I saw some photos on the web. It looks pretty awesome. Uh, okay, let's see. Greetings, hello, Marek Weiskov from Prague. Do you have any tips on cleaning the sensor? Blow dry or clean with special brush or others? Yes, I do. Many experience on cleaning sensors. 90% of the time, I blow dry it, and usually it does the deal. Sometimes you get like a wet spot that does not go away with the blow dryer. And the key thing is to use a manufacturer with a lamp. They sell that on Amazon. I think you can see it on my gear page. And with the magnifier, you can see your sensor, and it's got a lamp in it. And then you can use a little wet stick. You have to put some product on it and clean that wet spot. But 90% of the time, blow dry it is going to do its magic. Somebody says cleaning sensors, bring it to specialist. Well, in 12 years of photography, I had to bring it once because there was one spot I couldn't get out, and a specialist cleaned it for me. But I clean my sensor about every week for the last 12 years. No issue so far. So what's the best portrait lens for Nikon D500? 35, 50, or 85 1.8? 85 1.8 is the answer. You will get nicer portraits than the 35 or 55 because more you're zoomed in when you do a portrait, more the face is nicer, and you don't have like the ears going like this and the nose going like this. So 85 is a good is a good distance, focal distance, to really get the face great and get a great bokeh around it. Not 55. I mean, 55 is nice if you do middle-sized portrait, but if you zoom in on somebody's face, I wouldn't go 55. All right. Yeah, somebody's saying 105. 105 is a great portrait lens. I mean, longer the better, to be honest. Do you want the A7R3? Yes, I want the A7R3. I just can't wait to see what Sony. I mean, the Sony 7R2 was already a big jump for me from the 7R because they brought in the 5-axis stabilization, huge improvement. I can go down now to half a second. Yes, you heard me. Half a second and get a clear shot by hand with the 5-axis. I mean, it takes me 5 photos to get one shot, but I've done it many times. Half a second. I could with the Sony A7R2, I couldn't go under 1/30 second. That is a lot more f-stop to go. So 5-axis stabilization on Sony 7R2 was amazing. The 42, 46 million pixels instead of 36, amazing because I crop a lot to get the right composition. So more pixels, the better. And and the 4K video is also really cool. I shoot more and more 4K videos for different movie business related. Oh, talking about movies, my movie is almost finished. I did a movie where I was the lead actor and one of the producer on it, and it's going to come out on iTunes, I hope in a month. Right now we are waiting for some answers on some studio if we have the approval to put it on iTunes or not. Depends on the deal we're going to get. And I need your help to promote the movie and buy it. I'm going to see if I can make a game with B&H that if you buy the movie and you send me a proof, that maybe you can win the Sony 7R2 or the Canon 5D Mark IV. So you have a chance to do it, but I'm going to try. What I'm going to try to do, because it's my first movie and I'm a nobody in the world of movies, I'm going to try to do that. What I've seen other YouTubers do is get like 1,000 people to buy the movie in one day on iTunes, which is going to put my movie up there on the iTunes store in front of Star Wars. And so then all the distributor in the world is going to call me and buy the movies, and then I can make a second one. So that would be, if you want to do something for me, buy the movie on the specific date that I'm going to say. But you will hear about it. I'm gonna be all over this when it comes out. I'm pretty happy about the movie. It's called The Hollywoodans. It's a comedy about Hollywood. It's the story of a French guy who tries to make it in Hollywood, and all kind of crazy things happens to him. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be funny. We did a screening of the movie with 150 people, and we had some good reviews. So I'm like really impatient to see how the people are going to react to it. Of course, not everybody's going to like it. You cannot. One thing I've learned the hard way when you go public on your art is you don't get everybody to like you. I was watching this morning Luc Besson I don't know if you've watched that yet. Luc Besson, Valerian trailer came out. It's a movie that's made by a French director that costs more money than Star Wars, more artist than Star Wars. I can't wait to see it because I read the comic book, which is what it's based upon. And I was reading the comments on YouTube, and a lot of people were like really nasty about it. I'm like, how can you be nasty about that trailer? It looks so awesome. You know, you cannot please everyone. There's always a percentage of people that will want to, attack you or whatever, trolls as they call it. So let's see here. What else? 5 more minutes to go. Which mirrorless is the best from Deanna Jones? Sony A7R2. From what I know, is the best so far. Do you use Lightroom to edit your landscape pictures? Well, you don't know my channel. Yes, I do all the time. That's the only thing I do with Lightroom and Aurora HDR. I use a lot. I use also Plotograph, this software to make animations a lot. I think it's so cool. Since I've been using Plotograph, and you should check out my website, every photo that I put out with Plotograph gets 4 times more buzz on the web than a regular photo. So if you're a real estate agent, photographer, and you want to, attract, you can sell that to your customer. I have some real estate guys that are doing it right now. They are doing, they take a shot of the house and then they make the clouds move with the software, and they sell that video for $500. That's going to pay you the software. Or if you are a young photographer, you want to attract attention, you can do a lot of Plotograph with this animation, put it on your social media, and watch it grow. Somebody said Serge is Lightroom. Yeah. That's what I do, is Lightroom videos. Viva la France, Lorenzo. Yes, Viva la France. There's so many comments, it's unbelievable. I can't, it just goes like, I'm just trying to catch a comment. What kind of piano is behind you? Oh, what kind of piano? It's a Yamaha piano. I'm trying to learn piano. I've always wanted to learn piano. It's a funny story. And I took lessons when I was a kid. I took lessons when I was, I don't know, it's one of the subjects that I've never been able to learn. It's really hard for me, but I have so much interest in piano. And I found an app called Simply Piano. Oh my God. Best app ever to learn piano. Simply Piano. It costs $10 per month. And they have different courses. I've done all the courses. I'm waiting for their new course to come out. I'm like, well, I want the rest. And my piano has been improving a lot. I'm still very bad compared to Calvin, for example, who's my best friend, who's doing piano for 20 years. Every time he plays piano, I just want to cry and just kill myself slowly. But anyway, that's that. It takes what it takes. It took me years to learn photography, and I really want to learn piano, and I want to learn guitar, and I want to learn how to make music. Calvin, who's my partner, does that all the time. He's done 4 movies and 1 TV show for Netflix as a composer, and he just goes on and makes like a music, and it's just beautiful. I think it's always important to have something to learn in your life, and I've learned for 12 years photography. Now I really want to learn music and still photography, of course, but let's say I have less things to learn in photography and more things to learn in music. You are shaking your webcam. I know I'm shaking my I can see it's my table. I'm sorry about that. Must be annoying. I'm going to try it because I'm like Italian. I talk a lot. Hello. And so it shakes everything, I'm sorry about that. Hello, Thomas from Switzerland. How did you end up doing some landscape versus portrait, for example? That's a very simple question and a very simple answer. I used to work, when I got into photography, I literally went from not taking photos, not touching a camera in my life, and being obsessed by it overnight. Calvin, again, my best friend, showed me how to use Photoshop and a camera. We were on holidays. And at the time, I was trying to make short movies. And every time I had to make a short movie, I had to get like 5 or 10 people together, find a story. It's a lot of work just to tell one story. And I realized that with one camera and one software, Lightroom and Photoshop, you can just tell a story through a picture. So I got obsessed. I started learning it. And at the time, I was a salesman, and I was selling website in Paris. So I was going all in the tourist area with my little scooter, in all the tourist area. And so I was like always in front of Notre Dame, Saint-Germain-des-Prés, the Louvre, the Marais, everything, the most beautiful city in the world. And so that's how I got into landscape. I started doing Paris, and I got in love with landscapes. I like to do portrait, but again, You know, the thing I love about landscape is all you need is the right light and the right subject. You can take photos. You know, for if you want to do a model shoot, you need flash, you need to call a model, you need an assistant, you need a stylist, you need ellipse. Oh my God, so much things. Landscapes, you just need the beauty of the world. That's why I choose landscape over portrait. Okay, let's see what else. I've seen you using Aurora. Is it worth? Yes, sir. Aurora, and I'm not saying this because I'm partner with the software. I'm saying this because it's the truth. Aurora is by far the best HDR software out there right now. It's better than Photomatics. It's much better than AFX Pro, which is free from Google. It's just awesome. I'm doing a new course on it that's going to come out next week. If you're really serious about HDR, you got to get Aurora. And if you do, get it from my gear page. You can get a discount. If you go to photosurge.com and you go to my gear page, I have some deals with them. But honestly, it's the best. It's probably the plugin I'm using the most every day. Noise reduction software. Honestly, I know MacFun, who does Aurora, has noise less. I don't use it. Don't tell them. Shh. I don't use it. I use Lightroom for the noise. But you know what? I'm using a Sony A7R, and it does not give me much noise. So I don't really have a noise issue. So do I use Lightroom to edit landscape pictures? Again, yes. I have a Sony 7R, but still don't have a good lens. Sony 1635 or 24-240. If I had to choose between two, I would take the 1635. It's a little sharper. It gives a bit better, and also you want to go wider. 24 sometimes is too short for me. I like to go 16 to get more of especially like when I do a lot of astrophotography these days. And I find that my sweet spot is 20 millimeter. This is if I had to take all my photos over the last 10 years and see what was the average focal distance, I would say 18 millimeter focal distance. So the 24-40, which I have from Sony, amazing, but sometimes it's not wide enough. So if I would buy the 1635 first and then the 24-40. There are some stupid questions I will not answer. What do I think about the Nik collection, especially Define, Detail Extractor, and Sharpener? I think it's great. The only thing I'm worried about is that Google, since they gave it for free, they are not going to update it. And like yesterday, I was been doing a lot of HDR with the HDR FX Pro, and I was like, oh my God, it really is old. And there's so many features that in Aurora that they don't have. But it's cool. It's free. You should download it right away. I have it. You know, Detail Extractor is pretty good to get a sort of HDR look on a single raw file, for example. It's free. You should really try it out. Do you recommend retouch a dark photo or bump the ISO so you don't have to brighten the picture that much afterwards? I'm not sure I understand the question. If I had to pick between boosting the ISO or making a proper exposure, I would say a proper exposure, because you're better off having a bit of a longer exposure and a proper exposure than a high ISO, of course. I don't know if that was the question. A lot of nice words. Thank you so much. Anyways, I'm due. I'm supposed to be finished with the streaming. All right, guys. So I hope you come in. If you're in South California, come and see me on the 3rd of December in Laguna, not Laguna Beach, but in Long Beach, where I will be in the Yellow Corner Gallery. You can just Google the Yellow Corner Gallery, Long Beach. I will be there in the evening. And if you are in Arizona and you want to hang around with me, just send me a personal message. And if you want to spend a week with me in Italy or in Paris, check out my website. Mesdames et messieurs, I would say au revoir and thank you for being there.